Well, it is a morning here in the Philippines. It is an evening there in the United States of America. So from the Philippines, good morning from the beautiful, sweet Lucelle and I. My wife and I want to share with you something here. But before I do that, this is about a liver flush. And this is for Captain Dan there in Hawaii. It's for Susan and Tony and actually Drake. And I believe several other people want to do this. Now, you know me, some of you do, not everybody, but I'm here in the Philippines. This is my 22nd trip to the Philippines. Some of you know that I ran a lifestyle center in California, and this is a legal disclaimer, so be sure and see your doctor, right? I mean, doctors know everything, right? I'm crossing my finger, well, I'm whatever, you know, I mean, sarcasticness is this part of the film. Okay, so I'm trying to help you understand that when I say something right now, read between the lines and know that I'm extremely exaggerating and being sarcastic. Doctors know everything, so be sure and go to your doctor. But at least I'm saying that. Don't come to me, a person who has helped people and been an example through my own diet lifestyle in ways where people got well. I mean, my goodness, you don't want to get well, right? I mean, come on. Okay, so some of my calling cards here. This is, I just say health educator, originator, or original Kalapa food bar. That's a food bar, which if you don't know about, you should know about it. It's a complete meal bar that I've been working on. There's nothing else like it out there in the market. Here's another one here. I phased out of Meadow Springs, which we operated for 16 years, to Kalapa because that was a ministry in Hawaii, which the market crash of 2008 took. But they can't take your passion, they can't take your name, and they can't take what you do. They can only take maybe a building and some physical stuff. I put in here, I do not claim any authority, nor do I hold any position. I am simply a servant of mankind, and it is my pleasure and joy to serve, of course, here in the Philippines, the Filipino people with acts of kindness all the days of my life. So let's begin with this program right now, since I've gotten through the disclaimer. We want to talk about a liver flush. Now, it's not like you can't find these instructional videos on YouTube. You can. But I'm going to do one specifically tailored for you. Now, let's say someone says juice is not natural, and this is radical, and I understand. I may sound like Dr. John Christopher, Dr. Richard Schultz, or some other physicians or people out there. I understand that. You probably say, well, I've heard that before. He's just reciting. Well, you know what? The truth is the truth, and words are powerful. So, yes, it's not natural, but when you live a lifestyle swinging that pendulum clear over here in a negative direction your entire life, you're going to have to swing that pendulum over into the good direction at least for 30 days. I mean, come on, at least for 30 days. Take the fiber out of the juice. Take the fiber out of the plant and make it into juice, and use that juice to get into your body to create a healing miracle. That's what you need to do. Okay, so if you don't have a juicer, buy one today. Some people say, well, I don't have the money to buy a juicer. Do you have a car? Do you have a cell phone? Do you have a bicycle? Hey, do you have a television? Well, then sell your television, sell your car, and walk. I don't care. Don't live another day without a juicer. People ask me, like they've asked other doctors and people and colleagues in my life, what kind of juicer do you own? I don't care. Just get a juicer. I own lots of them. We have a juicer here. I don't even know what it's called. Just buy a juicer. Stop making excuses. Get a juicer today and start juicing, okay? And then when you do, then you can come back and talk to me. But right now, let's continue with this program, talking to you about a liver flush. Now, the liver's job is just like the oil filter of a car. It is designed to take that sludgy, thick blood or oil in your body, the oil in your body actually, and remove it and get it out of your system. You have several systems, a number of them that deal with oil. One is the epidural, the skin. It actually has, you can refer to as the 7-dehydrocholesterol processing, where the sun converts your cholesterol into vitamin D and it comes out your skin. But the most powerful organ in the body to get rid of the oil and the fat is your liver. So let me explain how it works. I'm going to give you the details in a minute. So get your pen and paper and write it down, okay? Get this video. You can push pause and you can get your pen and paper and write these things down. There's some really important factors to understand. Captain Dan, I'm going to address you right now because you have said this is a little bit difficult. Let me tell you, I have done this for years and years with so many people. It is not difficult if you do it right. First of all, you're replacing your breakfast with a delicious 3 to 4 cup or an entire liter of liquid. This liquid has up to 5 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. That's a lot of calorie. That is fat. I mean, that you're not starving. So you've got garlic and olive oil, you've got the citrus, bioflavonoids, some of the skin. You have a totally rich, nutritional food. You even have some fiber in there from the oranges and whatever. So I'm not asking you to starve yourself. You're giving yourself more calories than you even need or could use. You're just taking out the fiber. So don't tell me it's difficult. That is hogwash, okay? All you're doing is for 30 days, you're going to drink this instead of your breakfast. Then I'm telling you, because it's liquid and it digests fast, you can eat again 4 hours later. Okay? So, important to know. When you put this in your body, if you have water in your stomach, if you have food in your stomach before or after, while it's processing, the body receives foods, and there is a signal that goes to the brain and it goes to different organs, and it decides what to do with that food. Is it going to digest it, or is it going to throw it out and flush it out because it's too much oil or because it's too rich in this or that? Well, you don't want to digest this. You want to process it. I'm going to use verbiage that some doctors may disagree with. But again, I'm not a doctor, and I'm not giving you advice. I'm telling you what I would do, what others have done, and I'm telling you, be sure and see your doctor before you do this. I mean, orange juice is really serious. I mean, this is a radical thing, taking the fiber out. Let me tell you the radical stuff the doctors do. Number one, they take a jackhammer and a saw, and Lucelle and I saw this on a film recently, where they're just cutting your sternum in half. Then they're taking this hydraulic jack or a jack, and they're ripping your ribs apart to get into your beating heart. That's radical, okay? Drinking juice is not an extreme, radical, unnatural thing. It is something that will save your life. So when you do this, you don't want the body to start digesting all that oil. You want that oil to go into the stomach, and for the body to say, hey, wait a minute, we got a bunch of oil here. You have the garlic in there, you've got the ginger, which is an anti-nausea that's going to help it stay in your stomach, and the body is going to say, whoa, this is a lot of oil. But let me tell you something. It's extra virgin olive oil. Now, I'm not telling you to go out and start eating extra virgin olive oil. This is a liver flush. This is a program. This is a treatment to clean out your arteries. Dr. Schultz and Dr. Christopher, but especially Dr. Schultz, says this is one of the guarantees that he can make, that in 1 month, 30 days, he can have your arteries completely clean. If you're scheduled for an open heart surgery, he says, and other doctors that I know who are medical doctors who have now gone into naturopathy or naturopathic practices, they say you don't have to have that open heart surgery. Even Dr. Caldwell Esselstyn, I talked to him on the phone recently, he understands this, he knows this. Google him, Dr. Caldwell Esselstyn. These are not phony, fake quack doctors. These are real doctors. He's a gold medalist. He has performed heart surgeries. He knows what he's talking about. T. Colin Campbell. Go and Google these people. They know that your arteries, endothelial cells, start to repair. The fat and the sludge come out because as the blood is circulating through the liver is sucking that and pulling that out and dispensing of it through the bile duct into if you have a gallbladder, if it's still there. If not, it goes right out through into the upper intestine, and it disposes of it through your intestine into the toilet. So you want to get that fat out of your blood, and the best way to do that is to do, in my opinion, is to do this liver flush. So for 30 days, 40 days, 60 days, okay, you should be glad that I'm not telling you to do it 90 days. Why not the rest of your life just have something like this? But I don't recommend that, because really we need to stay away from oils. I'm into as Dr. Esselstyn says at the beginning, he goes like this, no oil. That's how he starts out. We don't need to concentrate the oils in our food and put them into our body as a daily dietary habit, but we can use them to do a flush like this: gallbladder flush, liver flush. This is not a gallbladder flush, this is a liver flush. Make note of that, top of your paper, liver flush. Cleaning out your arteries, make that in parentheses. So one glass of orange juice. Okay, so this needs to be fresh orange juice, freshly squeezed orange juice. And you're going to take that 1 cup and put it in a blender. You're going to take 2 cups of distilled water and put in that blender. Is that hard? Follow this: 1 cup of orange juice, 2 cups of distilled water. Take a piece of the orange peeling. Make sure there's no pesticides or anything, that's organic off a tree. Take some peeling, as much as you think. I mean, a little size like this, the peeling with the white underneath and the on top, the whole thing, and put it in the blender. Put 1 clove of garlic and a piece of ginger, the same size as the garlic. Okay? You blend that up. You drink it. You can follow it 10 to 15 minutes later with 4 to 8 ounces of hot peppermint tea. Hot peppermint tea is a digestive stimulant. It'll help, but it needs to be taken enough time after so that that liver flush will actually enter the stomach. The body will go into a panic mood because it's so much fat, but it's a healthy fat, and then the liver is going to produce hydrochloric acid. It's going to start boosting and flushing with the blood, right? It's going to flush. It's going to turn red, just like a flush, and that blood is going to go in and out, and it's going to pull that fat out of the blood, and it's going to help clean. When you don't have the fat in your blood anymore, then that new fresh blood is going to start giving the cells, the endothelial cells, the walls of the arteries, what it needs to repair and rebuild. And that's what you need to do. You know, a lot of people say, and this is the important thing to understand, let's say this: Captain Dan is going to the hospital because of high blood pressure. When you start restricting your arteries and having problems, the heart just pumps. I mean, it's pumping all the time. And when you restrict that, the pressure goes up. You understand that? When you restrict, the pressure goes up. You need your arteries healthy. They are the lifeline to your body. And research this, but there are statements in Wikipedia and encyclopedia that I've read where if you take a human and all of the artery, the blood, the nerves, those systems, and spread it out, it can go around the earth. Double check me on that, but that was something I read and I thought, are you serious? Is that really true? Well, don't quote me on it, but research that. We are fearfully and wonderfully made, and it is incredible what the body can do. So we need to clean that out. So this is the problem. The doctor puts you on a blood pressure lowering medication, and Captain Dan was asking, how long do I take? Well, first of all, you have to go to your doctor to find that out. The problem is when people start cleaning out their system and repairing and giving it what it needs to fix itself, because God made our bodies to fix themselves. In the beginning, we were created. So then what happens is that the system that God created in the beginning at the garden is at work and is trying to correct itself. And so the doctor gives you this medication and it lowers your blood pressure, but then your body corrects itself, and so your blood pressure ends up going too low because you're on this medication to lower it. So you need to go back to the doctor and make sure he checks your blood pressure. You can check it yourself and say, hey, wait a minute, it's going down too low. Well, then start tapering off your medication. I can't tell you to do that, but your doctor can, and you can tell yourself that. Okay, so be intelligent about it. You want your blood pressure to be at a healthy level, and you can do that through your diet and keeping your arteries clean. Salt is, a stimulant, so salt isn't bad. For years and years they said salt is horrible, and the Bible said salt is good, and then finally doctors said, well, now we need salt. I remember my grandpa went to the hospital, was dying. We all thought he was dead and said goodbye, and then they called us. He was rescued with his helicopter in our yard, and the hospital said, oh, he's ready to go home, he's fine. We just found he was low in salt. Sodium level was low. We just gave him a little salt and he came right out of it and he was fine and ready to go home. So we know that we have to have a certain level of sodium in our body, but it is something that creates higher blood pressure if we have a problem with our arteries. So 30 days. Now, this is the important thing. That 1 clove of garlic, that 1 piece of ginger, and 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil needs to be 2 the next day. The third day it needs to be 3. The fourth day, it needs to be 5. The fifth day, it needs to be 5. I'm saying 4 and then 5. Sorry, I was tongue-tied there. Make sure that you push your body up 5 cloves of garlic, 5 tablespoons of olive oil, 5 pieces of ginger, which is the anti-nausea. It's great for the heart, great for the body. That is what you need to stay on for 30 days, okay? That is a meal. There is plenty of nutrition in that to get you going even throughout the whole day. But, you know, have a healthy salad. Don't eat late at night. Now, people say, should I drink before or after? Let me tell you, when you get up in the morning, you should hydrate your body, flush yourself out with some water. But if you're doing a liver flush, I don't suggest that you take the huge amount of water, like a full liter or something, that I tell people to do when they get up in the morning to hydrate themselves. Take a smaller amount. Take 8 ounces, 16 max, but 8 ounces. Make sure you have an hour for that water to get into your body. I recommend that people take just a little teeny pinch of Himalayan salt or Brittany or some healthy salt, put it under the tongue, even if it's a healthy sea salt, just a little bit. That will help that water get in through the cells and into your body and hydrate the body. Okay, you want to be hydrated because this liver flush actually can tend to be a little dehydrating. You don't want to be dehydrated, and you don't want to go and grab a bunch of water and drink it afterwards. You want to do the peppermint tea following. That helps the body stimulate and get that, because your upper intestine is going to get just nasty with bile and with sludge and different things like that. So now I have to tell you, this is a slight warning, but again, go to your doctor. I highly suggest, as a person that has done this and known this, and I would do it myself. I'm suggesting to myself, not to you. I'm suggesting to myself that I would do a gallbladder purging program before I did this intensive liver program. But if you were to have some sort of a pain or a problem, go straight to the hospital and make sure that you're not having a gallbladder attack. They can remove it. A lot of people don't even have a gallbladder because it's already been taken out. So this is getting to the end of this program. Do you have any comments? She does talk, people. What do you think? Am I doing okay? We just want Captain Dan to be alive. We want everyone to be alive, and we want you to know that you can be healthy and live a prosperous life. We have signs up here: health by choice, not by chance; educate, not medicate. Kalapa TV. The Kalapa mission started on Kalapa Street in Molokai, Hawaii. You can see right here, we got a sailboat, we got a little shack, people, children in there with a heart, showing family staying together. Coconut tree symbolizes feeding them. Sailing represents and symbolizing traveling with the wind. 1 Corinthians 13 we have down there, which is the love chapter, talking about love. You know, when Jesus was telling to the people, setting out the tenets, the Beatitudes, and how to join his kingdom, people would say, well, I've kept all these laws since I was a kid, the rich young ruler said, and so what can I do? He says, go and sell all you have and give to the poor. Jesus kept emphasizing the greatest of all the commandments is to love and to know how to love. And the Bible says, no greater love hath a man than he would lay down his life for a friend. So, in concluding this, we were at 18 minutes. I wanted to keep this right under 20 minutes. So Captain Dan, please follow this carefully. Don't drink a bunch of water after. Don't drink a bunch of water before. Make sure there's an hour before or after. Do the liver flush right. Start out with the lower. You could start out with 2 cloves of garlic, 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. Make sure it's extra virgin, okay? Not virgin. It has to, there's certain laws that make it so that it has to say extra virgin in it. And do this liver flush and do it every day for a month. It'll save your life. You will be amazed at what it'll do. And then start juicing and drinking beet juice and carrot juice. My wife loves to do beet juice every day, and carrot and greens, and that'll keep your blood thin and keep you young and healthy, wealthy, and wise. God bless you all. We love you. Keep praying, and I'll be in Hawaii in a few days, and Japan, and then Hawaii. I'll be in California, so I hope I get to meet up with you there. All right, God bless. Bye-bye.